Hi everybody, this video is on the total solar eclipse that's happening on the 21st of August, and it's also a new moon in Leo. Now, this total solar eclipse happens in the UK at 7:30 in the evening. Okay, so if you're in Florida or you're on the East Coast, if you're in New York or somewhere along the East Coast, there's a 5 hour difference. You're 5 hours earlier. So if it happens at 9:30 here, then it's 2:30 for you guys on the East Coast in America. And I'm talking about America because America is going to be able to see this total solar eclipse. What's going to happen is that the sun totally disappears behind the moon, and you can see it anywhere from Oregon to South Carolina. So if you're in the States, I mean, Oregon is very far northwest, South Carolina, so most of the states are going to be able to see this. So it's at 2:30 if you're on the East Coast, and if you're on the West Coast, that's 8 hours. So that would be 11:30 in the morning. Okay? So I'm going to tell you what this looks like in terms of the astrology, what it means astrologically. It's going to be fun to look at. It's going to last about 2 minutes. You'll see it kind of slide over, and you get those special glasses to look. There's a wonderful book written about an eclipse. It's a Stephen King book, and I think it's called Dolores Claiborne or something like that, where a woman murders her abusive husband during an eclipse, and that's like her alibi or something. It's really a good book. Anyway, it just kind of occurred to me. All right, so this solar eclipse is a new moon. So what happens is usually a new moon is when the sun and the moon come together, so the moon can recharge itself for its new 30-day cycle, but usually it doesn't obscure the sun, and usually it doesn't block it. In this case it does, it interrupts it. So the new moon is pulling in lots and lots of Leo energy. So it's at 28 degrees. 2 and 8 is 10. 10 reduces to 1 in numerology, and 1 is the vibration of leadership, new beginnings, power, starting things, getting things going, and really stepping into your own power. The fact that Leo energy is being pulled in, again, makes this more powerful because Leo is a fire sign. The sun is in Leo at the moment, so happy birthday to all you Leos out there who are celebrating at the moment. But Leo is a sign that's associated with the sun. It's ruled by the sun. So it's about power and confidence and having a bright and positive outlook. It's about children. It's about enjoying yourself. It's about enthusiasm. It's about being able to step into your own power, being able to be seen by other people, having access to your own desires, to your own passions internally, and really being able to grasp those and do something with them. It's very, very empowering. So during this eclipse, you will feel energy flow in. You'll feel fiery energy flow into you. It's like, ooh, I'm buzzing. I'm coming up. And it'll feel like I'm getting more here into my system. Now, Mercury is 20 degrees away from the new moon solar eclipse, so technically it doesn't count. In the astrology, if something is 10 degrees away from something, it's still counted as a conjunction. It's counted as influencing that other planet and blending its energy with it. Mercury is too far away. I want to talk about it anyway. Mercury is in retrograde during this eclipse, and it's at 8 degrees in Virgo. Now, Mercury rules Virgo. Mercury is the communication planet, and when Mercury is in Virgo, it's usually very good at taking lots of information and breaking it down and making sense of it. When it's in retrograde, it's often the exact opposite. It will think that it's very good at taking information and breaking it down and making sense of it, but because Mercury is in retrograde, there can often be errors, little errors that crop up. Maybe you got something wrong or you didn't see something. There's always something a little bit off. So be aware that Mercury is retrograde during this time, because you'll have this huge sense of confidence come in with the new moon in Leo, and you'll feel like the world's your oyster, you can do whatever you like. But Mercury in retrograde will trip you up in the sense that You really have to think about the way you're communicating. You have to dot the I's and cross the T's if you're drawing up contracts. If you're talking to friends and family, you have to make sure that you're not misunderstood and that you're not offending other people or you're saying the wrong things. So it's a tricky balance, because if I'm feeling super confident and like the world is mine, then I'm going to say whatever I like. With Mercury in retrograde, there's the potential for me to make a mistake because I'm ultra confident, but I don't have the information to back it up. So, confidence with caution, I would counsel, even though it's not in retrograde. But Mercury, even though it's not conjunct, doesn't matter if it's conjunct or not, Mercury is in retrograde, it's going to affect all of us. What is conjunct is the North Node in Leo, which this eclipse happens on. So when an eclipse happens on the North Node of the Moon, it pulls energy in. When it happens on the South Node, it's about releasing energy. And we had a partial lunar eclipse earlier in the month. I'll put a link to that in this video, which was about letting go of things, especially things that you'd learned about yourself. This eclipse is about pulling power in. So you've now, earlier in the month, I love eclipse season because it's like a story. In my weekly horoscopes, I was talking about one week where it was really emotional and you really had to look at your emotions to get to the truth. And it's like, why are we being tortured this way? Then the eclipse happens and it's like, oh, it's because we're supposed to take all of these negative feelings and dump them and keep the nuggets of gold that we've got from it. So that's what that eclipse was about. This one is really about pulling power in, and because it's an eclipse, the new moon is interrupted. The effects of this last about 6 months. So Leo energy is going to be pulled into your chart for the next 6 months. And Leo energy, if you're a Leo or a fire sign, it will feel very comfortable and you will feel more power and more energy. If you're an earth sign, you will feel more inspired when you take practical action. If you're an air sign, you may feel a little bit flighty, flitty, indecisive. You may feel like you hop from thing to thing. It's too much of a good thing almost. And if you're a water sign, you may feel very, very passionate or possibly even frustrated about certain feelings that you've got, especially if things don't go your way. What is also conjunct to this total eclipse, new moon, is Mars in Leo at 20 degrees. Now, Mars in Leo is very happy. Mars rules Aries. Aries is the sign of breaking through obstacles and progressing forward no matter what. Leo is the lion. Leo is about, look at me, I'm confident, I'm powerful, I take what I want, I'm loving, I take care of my children, I have fun, but I'm powerful, I'm strong, I'm self-reliant. And Mars loves that. It's at 20 degrees, which is 2, and I always do this, but 1 and 2 is a relationship. So the Leo energy that's pulled in has a focus via Mars on relationship, because Mars is always what I want. Mars always wants something. He's always going after something. He's always marching on some castle or other, invading. So Mars in Leo says, I am looking for passion in a romantic way. I'm looking for 1 becoming 2 and really having fun with that and enjoying it and enjoying sex, enjoying intimacy, and really being passionate and having fun with it. So this is a wonderful eclipse for artists, creative people, people who are trying to find their life purpose, because fire, the element of fire in the astrology and in the tarot, is associated with life purpose and really doing what it is you care about and really what fills you with passion and fire. So having all of this there, like I said, it will feel differently to all the different signs, but the fire is going to be there. So if you're someone who struggles with life purpose, you don't know what you're doing yet, then you will start to become more passionate about something organically over the next 6 months. You'll develop a hobby or a passion that just comes up. You'll also be interested in finding another person. Company is going to be more important to you. So I'm going to buy myself that dog, mental note. It's going to be important. It's interrupted, so it does last for 6 months. and Mars wants to connect when he's at 20 degrees. That's what he desires. So all of these planets here sitting together, and when planets sit together like this, it's called a stellium in astrology. Stellium, stellium. It's when 3 or 4 or more planets sit together in one part of the chart. They oppose the south node of the moon in Aquarius, which is at 23 degrees, and that is about letting go of things that no longer work. So this eclipse works with the previous energy of the lunar eclipse that was set up earlier in the month, and it makes use of that in a sense that you have now done a house cleaning on the 7th of August. You let go of things that no longer worked, and this eclipse here is energy being pulled back in. So nature doesn't like a vacuum. When you let go of negative things, they've got to be filled with something else. And nature is providing this astrologically by helping us let go of things from the 7th onwards, and we can just let go of things. And now it's replacing those things with confident energy, with love of the universe. Think of Leo as this loving lion, and the universe, your higher self, is a loving lion, and that loving lion energy is being pulled in. So your doubts are leaving, and confidence and power and loving, fun, enthusiastic energy is being pulled in. The ability to let go of things that no longer work continues for 6 months from the 7th of August, because that's also an eclipse. And this power flowing in, Leo power flowing in, will also last 6 months. So we're all going to become less focused on the little things that hold us back and our faulty beliefs, and we're going to be able to let those go, and we're going to become more passionate and fiery and intense about what we do like. So this is great for anyone who works creatively, anyone who's a performer, an artist, anyone who's been totally lost in life and has never known what they wanted. You will start to know what it is you want. It's about having focus and becoming clearer on what your personal passions are. Other relationships are formed. The new moon forms a square with the midheaven in Sagittarius, so the energy will automatically then translate into how am I going to use this to get ahead in life. So it's practical in the sense that, okay, I've got all this energy flowing in now, where am I going? That's a big question. And that question has been answered over the last few weeks and months, where all the emotional stuff came up. So have a look at the weekly horoscope for, I think it was the 1st of August to the 6th of August, or it could be, no, 31st of July to 6th of August. That's one when most of the emotional stuff came up. Look at that. See what you got from that. You can hang on to this now and continue to let go of the bad, negative beliefs that hold you back. I'll never amount to anything. I don't have the talent. I'm not good enough. You know, that kind of thinking we've all got. Let that go and replace it with energy. The Sagittarius is half horse, half man. He's a centaur. The body of a horse and the torso and head of a man. He's got his bow and arrow, and he's always pointing at something and galloping there. So you've got all this energy. You'll automatically want to gallop towards something, to use it, which really means that clarity happens like that. It's not like, what do I like? It just organically, it's like, I love cats and I want to go work at the cat shelter. It just comes up like that. There's no question. It's not a head job, this is, you're going to feel it. You're not going to have to rationally kind of try and understand it. So that's a square it forms. Then it forms an opposition with Neptune in the 1st, which is in Pisces at 13 degrees. Neptune is the dream planet of imagination and intuition and manifestation. In Pisces, very happy, rules that sign. It opposes all this energy. So, dream it, and you have been dreaming it, and you've been looking at what the dream of your life is, but the time for dreaming is kind of done now. You've done the dreaming, you've got the imaginative ideas in. You can keep that channel open if you like, but it's in direct opposition to the Leo energy being pulled in, which is going to urge you to take action. So you can't daydream and take action. You've got to do one or the other. Daydreaming has to do with what I mentioned in the weekly horoscope. It's lethargy, inactivity, or even indolence. It's a time of non-activity where you get info in. And we've got Leo and Sagittarius, which are saying, don't sit around, don't do a siesta. You've got your info now, take action, stop dreaming, and do something. You've already got the dreams, we've ensured that, we've given it to you. Another opposition is with the South Node. I've talked about that. So the ability to let go of difficult personal character traits, that's going to continue to support you. Then they form a trine with Uranus in Aries. Uranus is the planet of rebellion and eccentricity. Aries is a fire sign that Mars rules. So Mars is in Leo, and it forms a harmonious relationship with Aries, Uranus Aries. Uranus being the planet in the sign of Aries. So that relationship makes that Mars in Leo combustible. It makes it so powerful, it heightens it, it takes it to the next level. So the romantic emotional relationship connection here with this moon is very strong. Yes, it's great for artists. Yes, it's great to fill us with life purpose and passion. But with these connections now, the main thing is going to be a focus on relationships, and also with Uranus in Aries by itself, also a desire to be unconventional, to do things on your own, to make a beginning on your own, to do it yourself, and to say, I don't need anyone to give me permission. If I want to do this, I'll do it. That's really important to get to that point in your life sometimes. I wasted my 20s with where can I find an opportunity? Is someone going to support me? Is someone going to help me and nurture me and help me up the ladder? Which did not work. What was much more helpful was thinking, what do I like to do? And how can I independently start doing that? Totally different mental attitude. And that worked much better in my case. This energy is kind of aligned with that sort of energy. It's independent. It's about moving ahead. It's taking action. And it's not about like, let's dream what could be. It's about let's seize the moment now. Carpe diem. A quincunx is formed. That's when two planets are 150 degrees apart. A quincunx is formed with Chiron in Pisces. So you're also going to be aware of past failures and past disappointments. Now, past failures and disappointments can prevent you from taking action if they were drastic. Let's say that you have tried to find a partner and you've been rejected 20 times. That's really drastic and extreme and excessive, and you've really been put off. This new energy flows in which says, try again. The connection is formed with Chiron. Immediately it triggers off your Chiron and says, okay, I can try again, but look at what happened to me in the past. I was rejected 20 times. The message here is that if you use this energy again and try again, you're able to transform Chiron, because this quincunx is a harmonious, neutral relationship. You're able to transform it into something positive and amend your life by embracing those 20 rejections and saying, okay, that happened to me, but I'm going to try again. We're going to try again. Involve your guides, involve your ancestors, involve your angels in this. Always, always, always. Always ask, what are we going to do with this life that you've been given, instead of what am I going to do with this life? It's always much better if you involve your higher power, your higher self, because that always wants good things for you. If you just keep it on an earthy, practical level, you're working with the ego, and you don't want that. Okay? So there's huge power being generated for you to do things independently, and for really to seize your own power and get your own power back, and to heal your past disappointments. And it lasts for a long time. So this is really exceptional. Another trine is formed with the North Node and Mars, which conjunct the new moon, and they form a trine with Saturn in Sagittarius. So again, that kind of complicates things. Saturn is about keeping things put and maintaining the status quo. Sagittarius is the centaur who leaves the status quo behind and gallops towards new things and new adventures. So fundamentally, Saturn in Sagittarius is conflicted. Should I stay or should I go? So we've had this energy with us for a while, and you're going to want to use this energy and channel it into something, but now Saturn puts in his 2 cents and he says, let's make the path a bit fuzzier. And that is why I'm telling you to involve your ancestors and your guides and your angels, because they will be able to clarify how to move forward. They will guide you, and then you can overcome the obstacles presented to you by Saturn, which would mean that if you try and figure everything out yourself, if you discern the path ahead by yourself, you're going to find it difficult. But if you involve your helpers, they will help you to overcome that fuzzy, tricky, treacherous Saturn in Sagittarius, and they will say, take a left, instead of should I take a left, right, or middle. So it's really important to have that sense of connection. So if you do have a daily spiritual practice, this total eclipse is important that you continue to connect and that you enjoy this great energy coming in, but that you're vigilant about what needs to be let go, how you can use your energy in positive ways, and how you cannot gallop down a wrong path. It's great having energy and it's great being excited about things, but if I'm galloping into a ditch, then that's no good, right? So you've got to be discerning, you've got to be clear in terms of what you're going to use your energy for. There's also so this is a complicated total eclipse because it forms relationships with everything, and that's why I make these separate videos, because they color the nature of it even more. There is a sextile between Mars and Jupiter in Libra. Jupiter is the lucky planet of growth. It too is at 20 degrees, 1 and 2 being relationships, and it's in the relationship sign of Libra, which is about building bridges. So the fact that this Jupiter sextiles Mars means Mars is working together with the good luck planet, and when these two come together with the same focus in mind, good luck wants you to focus on relationships and sorting that out. Mars wants you to focus on relationships and getting what you deserve or what you want. So they work together very, very well. That energy will continue to come in. So you have the energy to go on a search mission for your soulmate, for your life partner. That Jupiter, though, does sextile Saturn in Sagittarius as well, and I talked about that a moment ago. That is the part of the chart that makes things fuzzy and difficult to discern. So you're not going to use this energy and run into someone and it's going to be like, oh my God, you're the love of my life. I'm going to marry you and move in with you 3 days later. Don't do that. Take your time to get to know this person and really reserve judgment until you know who you're dealing with. Because Saturn will make things seem one way and really be another way. But the involvement of Jupiter in this, Jupiter is good luck and good fortune. The fact that that is involved keeps you safe and means that you're not going to come to any harm. It just may be that you think someone's ultimately super compatible and they just turn out not to be. It doesn't mean that you're in any danger. And it means that, dating is going to be a priority. It's going to be similarly tricky as it usually is. However, you do have the good luck of Jupiter supporting you, and Mars really wants you to focus on that. So there is the potential to really bring that into your life and to really make something happen with that. And you've got to make a personal choice. I've made a personal choice recently that I'm not going to date anymore because I was not having a good time, and I feel there are certain things within me that I need to resolve first, which I think I've resolved now actually, because I did a lot of work last week on this and I got some clarity on it. But I want to resolve my own patterns, my own story that I tell myself, because whatever you think, the law of attraction is realized in your reality. Okay, so if you have good thoughts about your finances will work. If you have good thoughts and a good inner landscape about relationships, then your relationships will work. My relationships weren't working, which is a sign that I have some faulty thinking when it comes to relationships. So I'm not going to use this energy personally. I'm going to make a choice to continue working on my personal issues, let's say for a month or two. This lasts for 6 months. I'm going to jump back into the deep end once I feel emotionally resilient enough and I feel like I'm in a place where I'm ready to attract the right partner, because I no longer need it, because I'm complete in myself, rather than where's my partner, where's my partner, where's my partner, which is a bad energy. When I get to that place, then I'll use this energy. We're in August, so that's the 8th month, so 6. I always show myself up with the number. So this lasts until February. So there's lots of energy. So if you're like me and you're a little bit hesitant, then don't feel like you have to rush off and do this. You can use this whenever you want. Jupiter is going to activate the good luck of this, which means that you meet the right person at the right time. But with Saturn being in this triangle of harmony it forms, Saturn, Mars, and Jupiter form a triangle of harmony, which is not an astrological term. I've come up with it. It's a trine and 2 sextiles, which create a tiny little triangle. I call that a triangle of harmony because it's positive. So it's about luck is on your side, but you're not going to look at that person in the eye and know, and it's not going to be love at first sight. You have to get to know that person, and it's much more practical and much more, steady does it. Go on a couple of dates. Don't just fall head over heels and dive right in after the first 10 minutes of meeting. Which, it happens. So, and I've certainly done that myself. So I'm just looking if there are any other relationships which are being formed here. No, that's it. So there you go. So it's a pretty complicated total solar eclipse. If you're in the States, it's really going to be fun for you to have a look at this. They always look great. I love solar eclipses. But in terms of the astrology, it is really a powerful, positive energy that's going to make all of us have more Leo energy pulled in, and that gives us a sense of enjoyment in life and a sense of infinite possibilities and personal strength and power and good health and all of those things we need so that we can go out into the world and claim the things that we want. It's very hard to go out into the world and try and claim something or build something if you're mired in negativity, or if you're in ill health, or if you have no supports, if you need, at times, you need to feel supported and uplifted so that you can achieve things. And that's what this solar eclipse does. It uplifts you, it brings this energy into you so that you can take action, and you're supported and you're given the power to take action. And the last 2 weeks of emotions have been your research time, and this is now where you fill the gaps with great things that you do want in your life. So that's what I get for this total eclipse. I think it's amazing. Just a warning, if you look at the sun, make sure you wear special glasses. Don't look at the sun directly, and certainly never use binoculars to look at the sun, because you can burn your eyes with that. Okay, so be very careful. That's your health and safety message for the day. That's the eclipse. I hope you found that useful. If you'd like a private reading with me, then please get in touch with my website. The way I do my readings is I draw up your natal chart. I use your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. If you don't have the time of birth, I can use sunrise, or I can rectify your chart, which is a process of finding out the time you were born. And then I analyze our chart. It gives me your life purpose, what your vocational aptitudes are, what your weaknesses and your strengths are. And then I put the progress chart and the transits around your birth chart to see what's coming up in future. With an eclipse, for instance, it would show me in what house of your chart this eclipse happens, and that would give me an additional insight into what area of your life this energy is being pushed into. So if it's in the 5th house, it would be even more romantic, okay? If it's in the 2nd house, it will be this love for money and really creating wealth. If it's in the 9th house, it's this love and desire to connect with different places in the world, different cultures. So the house placements make a difference, and they will only be seen through your personal chart. So the website is gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to order your reading. Please remember to subscribe to this channel. I do daily tarot readings, weekly horoscopes, monthly horoscopes for each sign of the zodiac: Aries, Taurus, Cancer, Gemini, and so on. Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, and so on. So have a look at some of my other videos. If you like them, please remember to subscribe to this channel, and I'll speak to you soon.